Good morning, everyone. So a lot of things have been happening in politics that I know you guys have been covering. I know that you guys have been informing yourselves about. And it's somewhat daunting, but it's expected, right? I mean, we've been talking about this for, the past 3 or 4 years, that we go out in droves because we're the number one community that is pandered to. And I don't know why I keep running into people that with my same interests, part of my same culture, want the same things as me, but they justify why they vote. And this is not anti-voting, okay? For all the algorithms out there, this is not about anti-voting. This is about that when you cash in your check, when you cash in that voting ballot, for every action, there should be a reaction, right? When you do something, something should occur, but that never happens for us. What happens is we cash our vote and then nothing happens for the next 2 to 4 years when they need you to vote again. Now, a lot of times we see people that look like you and I in high places, in high authoritative, high political positioning, and we believe that somehow helps the masses of us where there's not even 1% of us. I'm confused at how we continue to get fooled by all types of Republicans, whether they be Democrats or Republicans. Just think about it. It doesn't matter your political affiliation, and just for the record, I'm apolitical for anyone who wants to believe that I'm going on one side or another. But the number one side that panders to black people, that speaks to black people over and over again, is the Democratic Party. So you would think that somebody that continues to promise you things or to say a lot of words that means nothing, you would believe that they will eventually do something for you. But that's not the case. If you're noticing, everybody else except for our group continues to get tangibles and protections. Have you noticed that? Right? For hundreds of years, black people have been discriminated upon. I mean, we have all types of terms for it, right? We have discrimination, racial bias, over-policing, redlining. Like, we continue, we've been burned, billed, slaved. We still have, quote-unquote, people being hung, and they're saying they're suicide. That's not how black people kill themselves. We know this. We have race soldiers killing us in the street. But Asians get an executive order for protection for the federal government. Unheard of. So if you do anything against an Asian person, call them a racial slur, you get into an altercation or a fight, that can be considered a hate crime. But not for you. Not for you. Not for us. For the people who are descendants of this land. That we're not immigrants. But for some reason, somehow, we don't get those same protections. Oh, no. Oh, no. We don't get those same protections. We don't get those same privileges and rights. We don't get that. Not under the law. If anything, we continue to get undermined. Then, back in 2012, when Obama gave that executive order of Afro-American excellence or something, right? It was, again, word salad. It was benign neglect, meaning I'm going to tell you a bunch of things that I know that absolutely won't occur. I know we're not going to do these things for you guys. But yet again, we voted for him once. We voted for him twice. Then we end up voting for his boy, Jim Crow Joe. And again, there's been a lot of information that we've put out from the black media, from different sources, from Tariq Nasheed, Professor Black Truth, TBA, the Black Authority, TD Hip Hop Media, Philip Scott. You got all these black media news channels telling us, hey, they're lying to us. Their promise is nothing. Did you read the executive order? Did you see anything in the Lift Every Voice plan for Black America that is tangible for our community? No. And the issue still remains. We are still the poorest group in America. Some will believe it's from on our own volition. No, it's not. This was systematically done to our people and is still being done to us over and over and over again. But we're not learning, right? We only want to listen to those people who are essentially echo chambers, right? And I don't want to go hard on the black news channel, the BNC. I don't want to go hard on Roland Martin, no, right? Because they're doing their jobs. They're pandering to black Americans, thinking they're going to get something from Democrats, which we proven throughout the years we are not. But they may get slid a little check. Then we got those people in office. If you believe they're going to do something for you, then I want you to go read and see if they've done anything for you. Your Jim Clyburns, your Joy Reids, white people in the white news media and also in politics. What have they done? Because over and over again, I know you heard this message and you got to be getting tired. But if you're getting tired, then why are you voting for nothing? I'm not saying don't vote. I'm saying when you do vote, what are you voting for? Because all these groups, you say, well, he's not a black president, he's American's president. Well, Joe Biden got up there and said that black Americans had, put him in office at 87% of the vote, and that he would have black Americans back. How? How do we have our back? I mean, I'm asking a question because maybe some of you guys know more than I. I'm not the smartest man in Texas, let alone in my city. But I still ask the question, what does having our back mean? Does having our back mean that you gave Asian an executive order? Does having our back mean that you're going to give illegal immigrant kids $450,000 of American taxpayers' money? Does that mean that? Does that mean cutting HBCUs? Which, I mean, come on. We know that HBCUs are a meal of producing political white nationalist black people. You might want to rewind that one. But that's exactly what HBCUs are. But again, it's still the black institutions, right? But subtracting $43 billion from their budget. Wait a minute. And then you give illegals, quote unquote, from another country that you brought over here because their political structure in their country's in shambles, and give them $63 billion. You give them $63 billion while you subtract $43 billion from the budget of HBCUs. Now, let alone, a lot of you guys may not know about this as well. I want you guys to look up HR 1909. That's HR 1909. This is a bill that they're about to vote on, that they're about to allow mass amount of illegal immigrants for citizenship. Again, this is under your boy, Joe Biden. And a lot of you said, well, anything's better than Donald Trump. That's what you guys said, right? You told us that anything is better than Donald Trump. Well, let me tell you something about Donald Trump. And again, for you boot-looking ass kisses out there, I'm apolitical. So don't think I'm a Democrat. Don't think I'm a Republican. Don't even think I'm independent. I'm B1, baby, all the way. But here's the thing. Joe Biden gets into office. Joe Biden signs executive orders for the LGBT community that is majority white. There are melanated people part of LGBT, but that's nothing distinctively for black people. He gets in there and signs an executive order for Asian and Pacific Islanders, an order of protections. Then in droves, he brings over hundreds of thousands of Afghans and put them in major cities around America. Then in allocating your tax dollars, the same guy you voted for, the same guy you thought was going to do something for you for the Lift Every Voice plan, the plan for Black America, right? That guy that did nothing with that plan. That was his words on a piece of paper. Then he said, you know what, we're going to do one better because we understand that majority of Hispanic people voted for Donald Trump. Majority of Hispanic people voted for Donald Trump. Do you know why? Because when Hispanics come over here from their countries, that's what Hispanics do. They start businesses. Why would they vote for a Democratic president? Why? Why? Now, granted, some of you are saying, well, DACA and Dreamers, you're putting those down, right? But if I am a Hispanic business owner and I have illegals, but no one is coming to get my illegals, I'm going to vote Republican because it gives me the best tax benefits. We understand when Republicans are in office, they do more for businesses than do Democrats. So I'm going to vote Republican. Majority of Hispanics in the last election voted Republican. So what can we do to swing the Hispanic vote? Oh, you know what? Look up HR 1909. First and foremost, let's make those illegals, let's make them citizens. Let's make those illegal citizens first. Look at that bill. Then let's give them a big chunk of money and they will stay Democrat for the next 20 years. You're talking about damn near $500,000 to each illegal immigrant, which you voted for Joe Biden. Then he comes over and brings hundreds of thousands of Afghans to America and give them a budget of $63 billion. And we still asking, we still saying you owe us reparations. And there is your reparations right there. That is your reparations, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Because there's not a tally, there's not a sum, there's not an amount of immigrants that we yet know. It can be trillions of dollars of the American quote-unquote debt that will be going to illegal immigrants and their kids, and or their kids. So I still want to know, for those of you said, well, you know, we're voting for our ancestors. And first and foremost, respect to the ancestors, respect to my lineage, but they're dead. They fought and bled, but they're dead. That's the first thing. I want to be raw with you. They're dead. You can do whatever you want to do. They're dead. That's number one thing. Number two thing is, they didn't fight for you to vote, that you must vote. They fought for you to have the right to vote, so you can vote for whoever you want or not vote. Why would I continue to do a certain thing expecting different results? Y'all heard that before, right? Continually to do the same thing expecting different results. We know it's called insanity. So why in the hell is our community nationwide continue to do the same thing on a federal level? No president has done anything for us. We try to give accolades to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln said, you know, basically, if I could keep them in bondage, I would. He did it for the war. Abraham Lincoln didn't want to let our ancestors go. No. He said if I would give charge and power to a particular group, it would be the white man. He said this in his journals. He said this about family. You don't have to know a lot to understand that you continuously being lied to. I want you to understand this one thing. If someone promised you something, say, hey man, if you do this for me, then I promise you I'm gonna do this for you. You say, okay, cool, I'll do that for you. And you've seen the return of your investment, right? You do a particular thing for someone, and then whatever promise they made to you, it panned out. But not this time, over and over again. Ever since the 60s, we continue to cast our votes and cast our ballots, but nothing has changed. In matter of fact, did you know that black wealth is dissipating? Did you know that black wealth is being eliminated? That's because other groups continue to come in and take. And some people say they're just doing the jobs that nobody wants to do. No. That's a damn lie. If you look up HR 1909 and you see the jobs that these illegal immigrants have, they're in healthcare. Yep, they're in healthcare. Medical assistants, nurse assistants, RNs, CNAs, LVNs, whatever you want to call them. They're taking all those jobs. Ask your nurse friends, how many immigrants are with those jobs? Construction jobs. They damn near have all the renovation, all the landscaping, and they're moving into electrician. They're moving into plumbing. Look at it. These people that show up at your house, are they white? Are they black? Are they Asian? They're usually immigrants. So these are the things we have to use our 2-eye research. I know, unfortunately, a lot of our people do not like to read. I get it. We don't like to read. But do some of us like to use our eyes and start to put things together, start to connect the dots? They say, you know what? I've been voting in the last 2 or 3 elections, and I have seen nothing done for our people. But I see stuff done for other people. Because some people like to make the argument that, hey, these presidents are not for black people, they're for American people. Okay, then why is it they do everything for every other American except for you? That's the question I have. Because see, that's the argument that people like to point out. Well, you know, they not just black Americans president, they are American president. I say, okay, well, I can show you by law what they have done for other groups, either protections or tangibles. We're talking about money in hand. Then I can show you what they have not done for you, but they've given you a lot of words. Did you guys see the last broadcast I did? My last cigar talk, when I was talking about the executive order for black Americans, and Tariq Nasheed did another brilliant broadcast about word salad. See, these are things that we need to listen to, because here's the thing. Yeah, when people give you content and they contextualize on the content that they're giving you, yes, there is a certain bias to it, but you can't kill your 2 eyes. Meaning when you're reading, what are you exactly reading? And in my last broadcast on my cigar talk, I was breaking down how, as you're reading this executive order for black Americans about all the things they're going to do, it equated to nothing. It's 100% of 0%, which is nothing. That's what they did. They said a lot of things, but there's no executable. There's no timeline. There's no money amount. And there's when you're going to do this thing. When? How much? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves. Because over and over again, I continue to talk to people who speak up for the Democratic Party. Why are you not talking about Republicans? Republicans really don't pander to black people. They just say, look, the Democrats ain't doing nothing for you. You should just come vote for us. Listen, we're not going to vote. We're not going to do nothing for you either, but at least we're not going to lie to you. So one hand, you got to kind of respect Republicans because they tell you, we're not doing anything for you, but we're not going to lie to you. See, the difference is when I say, well, you know, anything is better than Donald Trump, so you voted for Joe Biden. Yeah, because he's not Donald Trump. But Donald Trump was an equal asshole. He was an equal opportunity asshole. Last time I checked, Donald Trump is the white supremacist that you want in office. Uh-oh. I know I hurt somebody's feelings right there. If we can't get anyone in office that are for us, that is going to do something for us, then why not have a white supremacist in the office that you know what he's going to do? Why not? Because you care about the image of America? Guess what? You're the only person that cares about the image of America. Because if the UN wanted to do anything, the only thing they have to do is watch American news. That's the only thing that they have to do. The UN is not stepping in. The UN could have stepped in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Wait a minute, when the UNs were constructed? But anyway, the UN could have stepped in the 60s, the 70s. I mean, come on.